They say your life is an open book. But what if the book starts writing you? Boston, 1924. They say rain in this city has a way of washing away secrets, or bringing them to the surface. My name is Arthur, and I've spent more time among ghosts in books than among the living. The Widener Library was my sanctuary. A labyrinth of leather and ink. But that night, the restricted section felt different. As if the air itself was holding its breath, waiting for me to arrive. I found it near the back. No title. No author. Just a void on the shelf. When I touched the cover, it felt warm. Not the warmth of a sun-drenched room, but the warmth of a feverish hand. I opened the first page. It was blank. For a second, I felt a strange relief. But then, a drop of ink appeared from nowhere. Then another. They began to crawl across the paper like spiders, forming a sentence. The ink was still wet, like a fresh wound. I shouldn't have turned the page, but curiosity is a cruel master. On the next leaf, the book described a night I thought I'd buried in the depths of my soul. Eleonora, the professor's wife. A woman of ivory skin and eyes that held the secrets of 1,000 autumns. Our love was a crime written in the margins of society. And now, this book was reciting our sins back to me. It knew everything. The exact hour we met behind the chapel. The scent of her jasmine perfume. Even the words I'd whispered into her hair, words I had never written down. How could a dead thing know the rhythm of a living heart? But then, I saw it. In the margins, next to our names, someone had sketched a symbol, a serpent biting its own tail. An Ouroboros. And beneath it, a new line was forming. The professor is not as blind as you think. I spent 3 days in a fevered dream of paper and dust. The Ouroboros symbol wasn't just an alchemist's mark. In 1875, it was the seal of a man named Silas Vane, a writer who disappeared from this very library, leaving only a trail of black ink and an empty suit. The resemblance was more than a coincidence. It was a mirror. Silas hadn't just died. The archive said he had merged with his final work. Was I investigating a ghost, or was I looking at my own future, written half a century ago? I felt eyes on me, not just the professor's cold, calculated gaze, but something older. Something that lived within the walls of Boston. The city began to feel like a giant printing press, and I was just a character waiting for the next sentence to be stamped onto my life. I ran back to my room, gasping for air. The book was waiting. It had drawn a map of my apartment. There was an X marked exactly where I was standing. And beneath it, one word that made my blood turn to ice, turn. I turned, but the corner was empty. Or so I thought. Then I saw that the shadows weren't just lack of light, they were liquid. Pure, abyssal ink, bleeding from the wallpaper, erasing the world I knew. The room was no longer a place, it was becoming a page. The door groaned open. The professor stood there, but he wasn't the man I'd admired. His eyes were gone, replaced by the same hungry ink that filled the book. He didn't want to stop the story. He wanted to be the one to sign the final sentence with my blood. I ran. Not into the streets of Boston, but into a nightmare of geometry. The city had folded in on itself. Every alleyway was a sentence, every building a chapter. I was running through the very biography Silas Vane had started 50 years ago, and I was losing the race. I looked down at my hands. They were turning gray, the texture of parchment. My veins were becoming thin black lines. I wasn't just losing my life. I was losing my reality. I was being edited out. I thought I was the hero of this story. But as the white void swallowed the shadows, I saw her. Eleonora wasn't the victim. She was the author. Every smile, every secret meeting, every touch, she hadn't lived it. She had written. Arthur, she whispered, and her voice sounded like the turning of 1,000 pages. Silas Vane didn't disappear. He became the ink so I could breathe. And now, the book is thirsty again. To keep me alive in this world, you must finish what he started. The realization hit me harder than any physical blow. I wasn't her lover. I was her creator. A man so obsessed with a ghost that he wrote himself into a loop of eternal sacrifice. To save her, I had to stop being a man and become a memory. They found the book the next morning. It was cold, and the pages were finally still. But if you listen closely in the halls of the Widener library, you can still hear the scratch of a pen. Writing a love story that never ends. And never truly began. Was Arthur the creator or the prisoner? Some say the book is still there, waiting for the next author. What do you think?